Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Intermountain West Drought Watch, brought to you by the Colorado Climate Center and the National Integrated Drought Information System. I'm Peter, and I'll be your host. Let's start by taking a look at the areas currently impacted by drought in the Intermountain West. Today we'll focus on the state of Colorado and the Upper Colorado River Basin. Currently, we have moderate drought over the urban corridor in northern Colorado and over part of the plains in southeast Colorado. Most all of eastern Colorado is currently impacted by D0, or abnormally dry conditions. This drought in eastern Colorado developed due to insufficient precipitation during last warm season and was exacerbated by warm and windy and dry conditions over the second half of winter this year. We also have a newer edition of D0, or abnormally dry conditions, in the Yampa and White River basins. These areas did peak with below average snowpack for the year, and lower elevations in this area have been warmer and drier than average as well. The most important step in determining how to change this depiction is looking at who received substantial moisture since the last update or over the past week. And as we can see, many of our drought-impacted areas did receive substantial precipitation. The headwaters of the Yampa and White basins did receive over a half-inch of precipitation, and northern Colorado, north-central Colorado, and eastern Colorado received over a half-inch of precipitation as well, with some areas receiving 1 to 2 inches. Half an inch of precipitation for this area is enough to keep up with average for this time of year, if not in some areas a little bit more. We also see that there are some dry areas, and we care about dry areas because we want to look at where drought may be getting worse over the past week or where we should degrade things. This week we won't worry about degradations, as the dry areas are in the southern valley portions of the Upper Colorado River Basin and in the San Luis Valley near the headwaters of the Rio Grande River Basin. These are areas that are climatologically expected to be dry oftentimes this time of year, and that are not in danger of slipping into drought at our current moment. Okay, so we took a look at precipitation, but how do we know what's substantial? We'll start by seeing how the precipitation has impacted the depiction of our standardized precipitation index, which gives us an idea of how precipitation compares to normal over the past, in this case, 90 days or 3 months. In the case of the Yampa and White River basins, we see that precipitation is still well below normal for the last 90 days, so we won't get into any improvements this week. Likewise, we can say the same thing for the urban corridor in northern Colorado, and we'll avoid improvements for the most part this week. As we get into eastern Colorado, we see that seasonal precipitation is now above average, or above this 0 mark, indicated by the cooler green colors. This means that this area may be ripe for some improvements. Let's take a look at our longer-term SPIs. Now we see some of those dry conditions that began last summer starting to show up again in Lincoln County and Kiowa County. This brown color in Otero County near Rocky Ford is impacted by bad data, wah-wah, so pay no attention to that. We do see some above-average 9-month precipitation values to the west and to the east of that, though, in both Pueblo County and in areas like that would be Kit Carson County. So those are areas that we're going to consider for improvements. The next thing we'll want to look at is how the surface hydrology responded. So now we're drilling down to eastern Colorado, and we can see that stream flows along the Arkansas River in southeast Colorado are now showing above normal flows, or much above normal flows, for this time of year. So the surface hydrology is in some sense responding positively, although some of this is also from melting snow in the headwaters of the Arkansas Basin. But what about soil moisture? Here we see that there's a strip of below average soil moisture in the root zone according to our variable infiltration capacity model that extends from Lincoln County down to eastern Los Animas County. These are areas that we might want to hold off on improving, as soil moisture is a key variable for the area. The soils may still be dry despite the recent moisture due to the combination of dry and windy conditions over recent months. However, we do see that to the west and east of this, that soil moisture is back into the normal range. So these are areas that we can really keep in mind for improvements this week. So just to rehash, these areas that we're currently looking at, both west of Lincoln County and Crowley County and Otero County, and then out east towards the border, are areas where recent precipitation has fallen in a substantial amount, and areas where the surface hydrology has responded. These areas look to be areas that it's no longer fair to refer to as abnormally dry or in D0 conditions. So these are areas that will be recommended for improvement. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye.